Hey everybody, this is Night Heron from Team Demon Kitty here, back with some more Friendsim. So yeah, I think it's just gonna be me tonight, because Osprey didn't seem to be feeling that well, and hope he's okay. But yeah, so yeah, let's do this. This looks like it's gonna be an interesting one. Hopefully, so yeah, let's do this. Boop. Fresh from your most recent bout of gratuitous bodily injury and touching scenes of camaraderie, you soldier on. You've had a few setbacks, made a couple silly choices. Boy, do things just keep happening. Yes, they do. Things do just keep happening. But let nobody say that you, the main character, are incapable of growth and change. Damn right. Oh, actually, no, you're being kind of shitty. You made sure not to be caught in the wilderness near dawn again. You have made your own way back to civilization. You can't wait to discover what new adventures await you. Adventures like friendship. Okay, I'm gonna go with Adventure Man first. Just because. Vicare, I think that's how you pronounce it, Vicare. It's probably best for you to stop trying to predict what's going to happen to you at this point. Everything that's happened so far on this planet has been kind of chaotic. Yeah, it kind of has. In fact, you're ready for something more familiar. You head back to the site of your abandoned spaceship. Sure, it's smashed beyond repair, but it's a little slice of home. Okay? Maybe at least one or two pieces of it are fixable. You march off in what you think is the right direction. Hopefully it's the right direction. But when you get there, you're not alone. A little guy in a hat with big goggles is standing there, gazing at your spaceship, maybe assessing it. I feel like this guy would get along with Jake, honestly. I feel like these two would actually really get along. As you watch, he breaks off a couple gears and stuffs them in his pocket. Hey, you clear your throat loudly. Good, galloping gravy. Why? I'm gonna do a voice for him because I want to do a fun voice. Why? I've never seen the likes of you before. What strange wonders the heavens have rained down upon us today. You quickly lose any indignation you were building up. He's smiling at you, and his words seem to at least somewhat remarkable. I don't know. Pronunciation, how does it work? Maybe you got this all wrong. Maybe this is the next person you're going to get chummy with. You cut right to the chase. No point in beating around the ground half-leaf covering. That's probably what they call it on this planet. You let this guy know that you're the proprietor of the spaceship he's stripping, and you're in mighty need of a new friend. A friend, eh? A bosom companion, a pal about town. I have seen nary a Tom man. Dickus or Harry around here this parts he might fit the bill. Yeah, this guy would really get along with Jake. This is I feel like they should hang out. I feel like they should hang out. I'm just getting that vibe, they both like adventure, they speak kind of in weird ways. You were kind of trying to imply that this guy could be your friend. Is it too late to say that now? You try to imply it with your eyebrows. How do you imply it with your eyebrows? How do you do that? How is this possible? I legitimately, can someone please tell me how you portray friendship with your eyebrows? Someone please tell me this. Because, I can't read body language very well at all. I legitimately don't know. As for me, day-to-day matters here on Alternative interest me not. For I care about only hurtling at great speeds for the boundless expanse. That's cool. Of the cosmos. That's right, space. It is spaceflight that consumes my every waking thought and all of my ardor. I like this guy. As in accordance with my duty as a future alternating crusader, of course. Hey, he has to add that. No oxygen, no wind, a total vacuum. That is a life for me, alright. I kind of like this guy. Flying in space, above the atmosphere, not within the realm of gravity's purview, wouldn't have it any other way, right? You get the feeling that you're missing something. This guy seems really defensive about his interest in spaceflight. Like, maybe he's trying to say something totally different. Whatever it is, his internal conflict clearly takes precedence over your issues. He seems like a great candidate for a friend, despite the fact that his voice sounds like it belongs to a newsreel about World War II. Hey, I actually got it right this time. I actually predicted it. Like, I actually got his voice right. That's kind of the voice I was going for. I actually got it right this time. I don't know how, but I got it right. I actually got this right. I have just one query for you, sport, if I may be so bold. Do you also like spaceflight? Yes, I do. I do like spaceflight. Do you yearn to see the moons shining above, the clouds whipping by as you chase and tease the impish western wind? And then also keep going past that up into space. Yeah, yes, I would love this. Please take me on a space adventure, please. Yeah, I legitimately love it. Like, well then, we're in total agreement. Two kindred souls traveling hand in hand into a glorious yet inevitable future of conscripted service in space. Which is, as I've already made clear, a thing I most definitely and positively desire. So it seems we have nothing more to discuss. Toodaloo. Oh shit, that was the wrong option. I was just being honest. I was just being honest about that. Sometimes being honest in this game gets me places and sometimes it doesn't. Like, it can either really help or it can backfire. Depending. Like, with Kairava, I should have been more honest. Because I feel like my honesty would have been better with it, but, like, sometimes, like, with Bronya, I feel like if we had been more honest there, then it probably would have helped. I feel like, being honest there not Bronya, blah. I'm blanking, one of the people we just saw, like, I feel like it would have been, like, the brown blood chick. I feel like it would have been better if we were, like, a little bit less honest in that route, but, like, yeah. You can't really predict this thing sometimes. That's kind of what I like about this game. It's not super predictable, and I actually really, like, kind of appreciate that. His eyes widen. You see them sparkle? Ah, I see. You're an individual with a more sophisticated palate. A real connoisseur of the wood arts, you are. Someone like you could never be satisfied with the anemic affair of traveling through the inky blackness of the galaxies. I believe a jaunt to my hive is in order. Let's get a wiggle on. There's a lot going on here, but you understand that he wants you to follow him. I think he wants to be some kind of aeronaut instead of a space dude. That makes more sense. I still like that idea, though. That's still a very fun thing. The friendly guy takes you to a building where all the rooms seem to be balanced on spindly-looking stilts. The hive soars above you into the sky. He gestures to a little platform attached to a pulley system, like a rudimentary elevator. It brings you up to a small, dark room. His house is pretty much what you would have guessed. The walls are covered in star maps and pictures of spaceships. You notice that many of them have cheery slogans splashed across them, saying things like, explore the galaxies because you're required to fulfill your duty to society, and enlist, travel, make friends, don't get cold. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Your new friend doesn't seem too happy as he looks around the place. Just the hive for a dedicated spacecraft enthusiast, isn't it? You nod. You're not sure what this is leading to, but no one ever went wrong relying on non-specific and plausibly deniable agreement. Who am I fooling? You've rumbled me, potential new chum. What you see before you is a collage of falsehoods. I am nothing but an avatar of baloney. In truth, the myriad temptations and desires to space do nothing to tickle my biscuit. Dude, this guy would totally get along with Jake. I don't know. I think this guy would still get along with Jake. The thought of participating in the glorious external conquest gives me screaming memes. My interest lies in something a little lower down. He reaches up and peels back one of the posters. Behind it is another poster. This one's showing a view of clouds in the night sky. Oh, he wants to fly, like airplanes. Behold my shame. The truth is, I long to toss and turn within the grasp of Mistress Squid's gravity's sweet fingers. To traverse the sky. Can such a thing be? Imagine flying within the confines of Alternia's very atmosphere, defying the very conventions of what we all know to be true. Instead of down, up. Instead of falling, soaring. Can you imagine? Can you see it before you? Yeah, it's cool. Could you ever dream of the existence of such a flying machine? I don't know which one to choose. I'm gonna save because, like, I might fail this hard. Okay, I'm not gonna be honest because I don't think honesty's helped me in this for it. Ah, but the future is ours to build, my strange, hued, and unhonored comrade. Sorry, out of word. What do you think? Does it excite you? Do my ideas rattle your buttons? You can't help but notice he is referred to as a shaman, a comrade, but friend hasn't made appearance yet. Do synonyms count, or is this just a tick of his speaking style? You look as earnest as you can and nod vigorously. You're almost positive this is a thing he really wants you to express interest in. Aha, the truth will out. You and I share this furtive passion for the indulgences of the air. A dialogue between a troll, a flying machine, and the stars. But further away from the stars than we would be in a spaceship. I cannot stress enough how different of a thing this is. You can't decide between nodding and shaking your head here, so you furrow your brow and do your best to look thoughtful. Like, maybe you are contemplating the differences. This fellow's demeanor towards you is definitely shading to the more temperate climate zones. However, certain physical needs are starting to assert themselves. You're still pretty banged up from your previous adventures, but right now the aching of your stomach is screaming for attention. You humbly ask your friend to be if there might be any chance of getting a bite to eat. But of course. Why, if I'd known you had a rumble in the old digestion bladder, I would have shut my yapper for too sweet. Time for a good old nosh, a yummerooty, what ho! Now, how should we obtain the victuals? We could venture into the great unknown, which is to say, out of my hive. Or we could stay here, beholden to whatever twists and turns Lady Fate has in store for us in the nutrition block. What say you, new timer? I don't know, I don't know. I feel like... Okay, I'm just gonna keep being dishonest, because I feel like dishonesty is the way to go with this. I'm gonna say go out and look for food. I don't know, I'm gonna say that, because I feel like going to the hive is the right option, so I'm gonna pick the opposite. From your budding chum's word, it sounds like he himself isn't sure if there's any food in the house. Best to risk it and go outside. You tell him your decision. Top choice, buckaroo. Foraging is how I while away most of my time, after all. There's just one small matter to trouble the old brain powder. We're venturing out into the unknown yonder. We should obtain some chow for my Lucius as well. He will be a real grumpy Gustav if he goes too long without his nosh. What is his Lucius? I kinda wanna know. What is it? You draw yourself proudly. It's taken a lot of bizarre run-ins and harrowing close shaves, but you know all about Lucius's. You inquire about Gustav, was it? Oh, what a card you are. No, my Lucius. I call him the canary. Oh, is it a bird? That makes sense. He whips out a photo. It shows a smaller version of himself. His horn's nothing but stubs, a far too big pair of aviator goggles slipping off his nose. Standing behind him is a large white fowl, big scraggly wings folded back against its body. You want to say an emu? Whatever it is, it's definitely not a canary. That's cute. He is an emu. I like emus. They're cute. They're silly looking birds, and I like them. And they're floofy. Its beak touches the top of your pal's head with something that might count as affection. Aw. That's wholesome. He is not a persnickety sort. All kinds of bugs and leaves will tickle his fancy. Shall we away? Shall we greet the horizon that rushes forward to meet us with astounding grace? Shall we give ourselves over to the current of time's great river? Sure, you tell him. You can leave the house. It's Getting a lot easier to pay attention to only the words this guy says. It actually makes sense. Yeah? You kind of enjoy his way of speaking, though. If nothing else, it gives you a feeling that he's really excited about this food quest you're going on together. Your alien pal leads you back down through the police system and outside again. The trip is not so easy on your burst ribs. The thing about walking is, when you walk, your body moves. Sorry. You've had better times. It's all you're saying. You indicate as much to your companion. Oh boy, I hear ya. Moving while attached to Alternative's surface is the worst kind of hooey. The movement with autonomous flight is invented trembles even ever closer to the present. Can you hear it approach? The wail of distant clocks on, the call to adventure. It beckons us forward through the years, a golden thread stretching ever outward onto the glorious inevitability. That's not what he meant, but his excitement cheers you up a little. Maybe you will feel better in the future when someone invents flight on this planet. Certainly by that time, you'll either be further along in your healing or dead. Okay, that's fair. Either way, thinking about that future brings you a little rosy glow to your heart. You ask your buddy where you're going next. The world is our bivolio secret. We'll go wherever the wind calls our names. Great. But if it's a short-term answer you're inquiring after, there's a specific plant the canary likes to eat. It's got white petals and leaves as red as a troll's moist lurid desires. Okay. Oh, okay. Could you give a holler if your bulbs fall on something of that persuasion? You agree to keep an eye out. You continue trudging along beside him, wincing whenever your steps jolt your inquiries. Maybe a little conversation will help distract you. Yeah, that's fair. That's a pretty good idea. You ask your new friend what got him so interested in flying in the first place. What could be better? Up there, free of worldly concerns. The wind in your face and the horizon at your back. Seeing the continent spread out before you. Finally, feeling that your personal aesthetic is appropriate for the given circumstances. You chew over this for a minute or two. It seems like what really makes this guy tick is a travel and adventure thing. Or maybe it's just what you're getting from his general demeanor and pretty much everything he said up until now. You're nervous to bring up anything that might make him dislike you, but in the interest of bonding, you forge ahead. Aren't there geese of apprehension? Maybe some similarities between flying and space travel, like maybe being in a spaceship could satisfy some of these urges? What? There may be some superficial similarities to trick the common troll, but in essence, the blood pusher is soul of each, as different as night and day, as a mountain in a ditch, a star in a mud puddle. Don't get a fellow wrong, space travel is fine. Well, it's the only way to satisfy our bloodthirsty, nearly immortal overlords, and I look forward to such a time when I can be of service in the eternal milestone grind of intergalactic conquest. But it's missing the punch, the pizzazz, the kaboom, the trunk-based talk of it all. Just as you'd feared, you stepped in it now. You're struggling for response when out of the corner of your eye you spot a cluster of white flowers. Yeah? Relieved, you point them out to your companion, who races over to gather them up. But when he holds one up, you can see it has blue leaves, not red. Your shoulders droop. Seems like all you're doing is disappointing your buddy, who's been so nice to you, or at least that's what you think you've read between the lines of his confusing speak style. Fear not, my smooth-headed compatriot. These are not the loosest rations we sought, but the plant is people chow. This plant is people chow. Sorry, I'm coughing a little bit. What I mean to say is we can eat it. Since we are people, it's food for people, not food made of people. To be clear. You have to specify that on Alternia. You have to actually specify that because, like, grubs are food on Alternia. He comes back with a fistful of flowers and hands you one of the blue leaves. You're not all sure what food that's safe for your buddy will be safe for you as well, but at this point you don't have much to lose. You could die. Besides, the way your stomach is growing, it might as well be a perfectly seared steak. You put it in your mouth. Sorry. Chewing on the leaf, you feel even more affectionate towards this guy than before. You were worried this trip was just turning into an excuse for him to run some kind of household errand, but he really did find you something to eat. You're desperate to find some way to show him that you understand his interests. You want to connect him on a deep soul level. Anything to get him to look at you with that treasure glow of friendship in his eyes. Whenever he mentions space travel, he talks about how it's something that he has to do, some kind of necessary obligation. So maybe there's a reason he's fixated on an activity that's kind of similar, but just a little different. Maybe he doesn't want to do the required thing, the space conquest, but he doesn't have an aim to rebel entirely all the way. Maybe airplane flight or whatever similar thing he's envisioning is a compromise between what he has to do and what he wants to do. A balance, like all must find, in order to live as an individual in a society that shapes one's desires from birth. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's a fair thing. You cautiously open your mouth, heart pounding. You venture to ask your pal if he maybe would rather not satisfy the demands of the bloodthirsty overlords. If maybe a part of him wants to get into his flying machine and leave, for real. Oh, he's crying. He's crying. He seems taken aback. Maybe you should have never said it. What a huge mistake. You've probably pushed his friendship out of your reach for good now. Panicking, you put to the side, yelling that you see a big field of white flowers in that direction. Your potential friend leaps to action, seemingly also glad to be given a reason not to answer this question. He races forward in the direction you indicated. In a matter of seconds, there's a yelp, and your new acquaintance vanishes. Instantly, you realize your error. You didn't look where you were pointing. While walking, you unwittingly came close to the edge of a large cliff, which your companion now disappeared over. You race to the side, your stomach flooding with fear. This is absolutely the opposite of what you wanted. You look down in horror. Your friend now looks approximately how you felt when you first crash-landed on this dark planet. He's conscious, his face frozen in shock, but one leg is twisted underneath him in a nasty way. You may not be familiar with his alien anatomy, but you're almost positive that it shouldn't look like that. You call out to him in distress. Sure, he's going to castigate you for your mistake. The strangeness of his language won't make it hurt any less to lose this guy's trust forever. What ho! Kalu Kalay! His voice floats up from the ground below, weak but somewhat jovial. Is it possible he's not angry? Oh, joy is happening. Oh, delight for the body and spirit. Did you see? Did your being absorb what occurred before your very visage? I flew, soared through the air, just for a moment, but it happened. An ecstasy like none I've ever known. You hesitate. Is it really possible that he could be taking this so well, that maybe your big fuck-up was a step in the right direction after all? It's definitely a little worrying to hear him celebrate a dangerous fall, but none of that matters if he can secure his friendship at last. Okay, that's definitely not a bad way of thinking at all. My strange associate, come on down here. We will celebrate in grand fashion this eve. How did you know? That a brief sojourn for the unfed air would bring me such joy. You're a fine fellow, and truly superb friend. Your heart lifts with joy. He said it. Of course, now you have to find some way to climb down a cliff with your messed up ribs, not to mention figuring out how to transport someone with a broken leg back to the house. You're not really sure if that's possible or when the adrenaline that's got you this far will give out and force you to succumb to your own pain. But with a night full of difficulties ahead of you, you couldn't ask for a better bond than knowing you'll face them hand in hand with your friend. Assuming he didn't hurt his hands as well. No matter, you did it. Yay, good ending. Alright, you just had to lure someone off a cliff to get the good ending, that's totally fine. It's like normal things, luring people off cliffs. Okay. Yep. Because that's a completely normal thing. Apparently. It's totally normal. Okay. Fresh from your most recent bout of gratuitous bodily injury and touching scenes of camaraderie as you soldier on, you've had a few setbacks, made a couple silly choices. Okay, but made your way back to civilization. You can't wait to discover what new adventures await you. Adventures like friendship. Okay, yeah. Now we're going for the capitalist lawyer. Fuck. And we're going for this dude. You wander down a street in a not too demolished looking part of town, but you don't really take much of it in. You're not looking where you're going. This is an elementary mistake, especially on a planet where everything that exists seems to be on a spectrum of engineered specifically for murder, too. Could be a weapon, I think, but you've got a lot on your mind. Now as a car, these guys probably have some ridiculous word for it, but you haven't learned it. You hadn't noticed slams into you, sending you flipping head over feet. You had a few new concerns to your list. Your bones and organs. God, we're just constantly getting injured in this. The sound of the driver yelling, "Watch where you're going, lump squirt chugger," fades on as they drive away to assess your situation. Well, you stretch each limb in turn, which you gotta say doesn't feel great. You've landed on a bush, which is covered in sharp spines. Your arms and legs still work, though when you do an experimental cough, no blood comes out. Pretty lucky, you think. Maybe you've redefined what luck means by this point in your journey, but you'll take what you can get. You don't figure that luck will extend to this driver turning around to help you in this bush. Your gaze meeting and sparkling, an immediate and intense connection that leads you to a beautiful lifelong friendship, but you let yourself hope. After a few minutes of struggle, the answer to your daydreams comes into focus above you. A figure outlined by the spiny leaves of your plant prison in the glow of the moons. Is he going to help you see the driver? Are you going to file a lawsuit? Is he going to be your lawyer? The troll you see isn't the driver of the car, but you don't care. Your heart is beating wildly if you're continued lucky streak. Hello. Hello. You seem to have fallen victim to a colliding scamper. That scuttlebuggy back there. I knew it. Oh, we're getting... Oh my god, it's adding a fee for everything he does. Oh my god! It's fucking adding a fee for everything he does. It's just adding, like, a fee. Like, this is just a normal lawyer. This guy is, like, a normal lawyer. Have you contacted your personal legit Slack writer? If not, I'd like to offer you my services. It went up again! My name is Tagora Gorjek, but please, call me Gorgor. I'm here for you, for a nominal fee, of course. Of course. Oh my god, again. He pulls a business card from his sleek teal vest and offers it to you with a precise flick of his wrist. His claw beds are perfect. It keeps going up every time I click forward. Oh, it didn't go up this time, wow. You try again to sit up, buoyed by this offer for assistance. He's some type of doctor, maybe, or lawyer? It doesn't matter, really, because he said he was here for you. These words go right ahead and burn themselves into the softest shiver of your heart. Ah, he's a lawyer. Get a file a claim against the fucking driver. You start telling him your plight thus far, reaching up for the brambles toward his beacon of hope. This guy seems trustworthy, and that's not just your lack of options talking. You swear, it totally isn't. This guy seems totally trustworthy. Not a red herring at all in another game. You shift. The moonlight shines on you. He steps back briefly, dropping the card. Oh yeah, because you're also an alien. The one eye that's not covered by a sweep of the product-infused hair opens wide. He recovers, smoothing his hands down his chest and straightening up, clearing his throat as he continued to explain. You're what? Oh yes, an alien. I knew that. I've done work with aliens before, so your situation shouldn't be an issue at all. Oh my god, 200 for being an alien. I mean, it's better than being killed for being an alien. So, like, that's not the worst fee. That's actually a reasonable fee. on this planet. Like, by Alternian standards, that's actually not an unreasonable fee. Like, that's a pretty good fee to pay. Because, like, if you get put to death just for being an alien, like 200, I don't know what currency that is, 200, whatever that is, actually isn't a bad thing to pay for protection from that. So actually, that's a very reasonable fee. Like, I didn't read that, sorry. Let me open the log. Everyone deserves equal opportunity to be represented by me. In fact, we may be able to use this in our favor for a larger cash settlement. Cash spelled C-H... Oh my god, C-A-C-H-E. It all depends on our angle. Oh my god, went up again. Here, try moving your chug column. Oh my god, it's always a sign on the dotted line. You aren't sure why this is necessary, but you wiggle your torso, hoping that's right. You've never won anything aboard your meager existence and to follow specific directives perfectly. It's at 300 now. No, not that. It keeps going up. You add a little hip jiggle, not so much that he might think it's a come on, but enough to say, hey, I'm friendly, I know what the fuck I'm doing. No, you're the thing that holds up your think pan. Work with me. Oh no, cost of money for confusing him. You continue what you hope is part of a troll friendship ritual. No, it's a part of a lawyer ritual on any planet. Shimmying various parts of your anatomy deeper into the bush until you get to your neck. Then he clasps his hands together. There we go. That one hurt, didn't it? Definitely a case of column snap, which can get us a decently hefty restitution. Your neck feels fine, or it doesn't hurt any more than the rest of you, but you give him what you hope is a convincingly painful nod of agreement. Of course, you will need to front the initial legislation costs. We may also have to injure you further to ensure our case is convincing, but you've got to break a few cluck beasts every year to make a grublet, as well you know. Oh my god, 500. Yes, I think we may make a mutually beneficial team, if you're willing to do what it takes to bring about the justice you deserve. Okay. Oh my god, another one. So what do you say? How would you like to help me help you? He's talking really fast, and you're not sure exactly what to think about your lack of funds or the idea of breaking any more bones, but that smile was sharp and shiny and pointed right at you. You want more of it. Nah. I'm gonna lie and say I have money, because, like, he's not gonna work if I don't have money. I know this. I'm gonna save, because I don't think I'm gonna win. Okay, I'm gonna save, but, like, I'm calling it now. That, like, I don't think he has lots of money. Okay. He needs to think I have money. You mentioned how incredibly loaded you are, and how core to your sense of values it is to pay well for good work. That's what we call good business. Now, get up out of that prickle fraud, and let's get you presentable. He watches you flail a few times before he sighs, unbuttons his sleeves and rolls them up to his elbows. Each fold is crisp and even. It takes a while, but you're good at being patient. There is a 12% cost increase for instances of manual labor. It'll all be explained in your bill. Oh, that's a lot. It's itemized. I'm sure an alien of means such as yourself will be able to handle it. You take his hand and he pulls you up and out of the bush. It's kind of a rough job. He's not as strong as he looks, you guess. He glares at you like he's daring you to say shit about it. You're a quick learner. He cuts you off mid-thank you. My office isn't far from here. We can go there to get things started. And by things, I absolutely mean get you clean. Sign a lot of vaguely worded yet stringently binding documents. He walks with a purpose. You shake off the forest, suck your various body parts, and do your best to catch up. From the outside, his office basically just seems like his hive. You've learned a thing or two during this shit sort of cultural exchange, though. You've got to play it cool if a potential friend invites you home. Also, he's your lawyer, and, like, if you're going to, like, if you need a lawyer, like, I think he's just going to bail if, like, there's no money. I think he's purely incentivized by money, and we gotta, like, play into that here. You never know what cages or monsters or methods of evisceration they might have laying around, and you want to prepare a nice, chill look on your face for whatever carnage you're about to be confronted by. It doesn't work. Your face falls to bewildered hell when you walk inside because it's all chrome and gloss and broad white walls in here. Oh my god, it's a ferret. It's a cute ferret. It's a ferret. I guess it makes sense that he would have a ferret. Like, that makes sense. It's like a weasel. It's a weasel, I get it. This is legitimately a nice house. I don't know, it's a little bit minimalist for me, but it's kind of nice, I guess. I like how the ferret has, like, a layered, like, thing to climb on. Like, it looks like a little fern. That's adorable. It looks like he bought the fanciest looking crate and barrel display room he could find, down to the last useless minimalist accessory that never sat down in it. Yeah, I actually know someone who has a house that looks like this. Like, I legitimately know someone. They don't have a ferret, but, like, it legitimately looks like this. His Lucis, a ferret, is chilling on an enormous silver fence halfway between a throne and a plate tower. It's adorable. Everything is clean and bright and at perfect right angles, and you don't see any weapons anywhere. It's fucking creepy. It's creepy. I mean, all turdy, I guess it would be. You ask him if he just moved in because polite conversation seems like maybe the best thing you can do. In the absence of something specific to focus your fear on, you're just sort of a little afraid of everything. You're not paying me to learn. You're not paying me to learn my life story, unless you'd like to. In that case, no. I've lived here most of my life. I'll go ahead and add that to your bill. How much is it going to be? Oh, that's a lot. I think this is a lot of money. I don't know troll currency rates, but, like, I think this is a lot of money. You stare at one of the chairs. Should you sit in it? By all means, do not make yourself at home. Head straight to my evolution trap while I prepare your contract. He really... Oh, yeah, it's like time rates. That's why it keeps going up 10 every time I look. You really want to connect with this guy. You like how you just vibed there. Where you're thinking about sitting your bedraggled ass in his fancy chair, and he could totally tell you were thinking it, but you don't want to be friends badly. You have to walk straight into something that has the word trap right there in its name without at least pondering it for a second. You become savvier during all of this. I don't know, I don't trust this shit. Okay, take a goddamn bath. Yeah. You're more than a little concerned about the trap part of the instructions you just received, but hey, at least the trap you know is better than one you don't. With everything else you can see so freaky pristine, it has to be hiding some evil somewhere. The evil is him. He's just straight up the evil. Like, he's lawful evil. Like, he is the evil. He's lawful evil. He's not gonna be, like... He's lawful evil. You wonder if it's a dungeon. A dungeon could be cool. Oh, it's hopping. Oh, it's literally just hopping around. It's so cute. The ferret bounds down off its pedestal and jerks its head for you to follow it. You do because it seems like a regular thing to do, and Tagore is busy on his computer. It leads you to a bathroom, which is just as fancy and clean as everything else you've seen. The Lucis chitters at you for a second, squirms its big noodle body around and leaves, shutting the door behind it. A noodle body. You wait a second till it's probably gone before you test the handle. It's unlocked, huh? You wonder what the point or, motive might be for leading you into this room until you turn to see yourself in the mirror. That is some haggard-looking stuff right there, so fair. You're flying by the seat of your pants, but You guess maybe you're supposed to take a bath. If not, he gets really pissed. He gets pissed and unleashes the ferret on you. Yes, unleash the ferret. Unleash the ferret. At least you'll meet your maker nice and clean. Yeah. You have to expect some indiscernible goo or blood or something to come out of the faucet in the weird lumpy tub of water. Once you're in, you take a look at the truly inordinate amount of bath products you have at your fingertips. Yeah. Okay, this is like his house is like eerily similar to someone I know. Like, there are free shelves of little bottles and soaps and unidentifiable leathersome accessories. By the tub alone, there's even more by the mirror. The labels are all gibberish, of course, but you sniff a few until you find something flowery and go to town. You take more time than you should in there, but you haven't experienced a moment of luxurious solitude in a bit. Full-time friendship searching can be difficult work. It's good to recharge. Once you're freshly scrubbed and dried, you slather yourself head to toe with some lotion you find in an iridescent vial. You hope he won't mind you using it. He wants you to be presentable and the stuff is sparkly. You're starting to feel rejuvenated as hell, ready to knock this friendship stuff right out of the park. You leave your dirty, torn-up clothes on the floor, wrap yourself in one of the many satin bathrobes folded on a shelf, and head back out to find Tagora. He's standing in his foyer, waiting with the contract he typed up for you. When he sees you, his eyebrow ticks up. I see you went with a rainbow drinker serum, full body application. Okay, bold choice. I mean, it's an incredibly rare and expensive product, and I do expect to be reverberated, but I won't lie, it works. Oh shit! Crush handmade troll cosmetics. Yeah, sure, that stuff. You don't want to let. Oh, it's vape. It's rainbow trigger serum. That's a little bit of a weird thing to bathe in. But I mean, that's just a little bit weird. I don't know. Is it actually made for rainbow drinkers in some way? It's just like it's vampire juice. Okay. Well, because it sparkles. I get it because it sparkles. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, sure, that stuff. You don't want to let on that you don't know what this is, and he seems impressed. Instead, you give his ego a little stroke and tell him that you hadn't seen such a sumptuous array of self-care accoutrements in a long time that you could help yourself. Not everyone takes skincare as seriously as they should. I assumed you were taking forever in there because you got lost or didn't know how to use the ablution crap. I had considered the possibility that you were just doing a regimen. Noted. Oh, okay, we got a discount for good skincare. Hey, that's nice. You hold your arms out to admire the well-hydrated sheen you have going on. This time, you're not really even bullshitting. It does actually look pretty good. Tagore seems like he's struggling. He keeps opening his mouth to say something and changing his mind. He's clutching the documents in his hands like a flotation device. He looks down at them, then back at you. I typically will use that particular product to highlight my cheek blades, but there's no real reason you should apply it more liberally, especially if cost isn't an issue. It's a little drastic for my personal style, but there's a sure unorthodox glamour to it. Our next bit looks like it hurts him a bit to get out. Would you like to step outside to see the full effect? You bet your ass you would. You're curious about what he means by effect. This seems like more fun than signing stuff. I'm scared. I'm scared. He places the documents down on his desk like they're made of glass, not paper. He looks up at his Lucis. He just sort of tilts its head to the side. Oh, and it just turned you to just become a vampire, a rainbow drinker. You look away and give them privacy to do whatever eyeball communication is going on. After a bit, Tagore clears his throat and heads toward the door. You don't comment on the bluish flush in his cheeks. For all the shift in his demeanor, he still seems like he might kick you out on your ass if you tried to get him too feelingsy with him. Yeah, he probably would. You start to glow as soon as you step back out into his dark front yard. Not in a light bulb kind of way, but a subtle ethereal luminescence. What is this stuff? Now that is a look. I mean, there's still the unfortunate issue of your hornlessness and overall appearance, but in the fact that you're still wearing my absolution robe. It's a rental fee. It's not even a buying fee, it's a rental fee. But it's cutting edge. I'll give you that. You look almost like a real one. You don't know what that means, but you want to roll around a turtle in this praise part. You ask if the look will help your case. Oh, you're right. You're over it. Your case, of course. He bites his lip and looks back through the window at the papers sitting on the desk where he left them. You hope he still wants to represent you, or at least that he'd want to hang out even if he wasn't going to. You don't get a chance to prod, though, because right then someone rounds the corner on the sidewalk in front of his hive. Oh no! Is he gonna get hit by a car? No. Tagora's face immediately shudders into its usual simpering mask. There's an edge of panic around his eye that, Oh, I missed the illegal log. Well, Gorjak, what have we done here? What have we here? It's a blue field troll, which if you remember right means he's fancier guy than Tagora. He's grinning like Christmas came early. You can feel Tagora vibrating out of his skin next to you. Who even is this guy? When he gets close enough to get a good look at you, he jumps and screeches. What's the bulge boiling fuck? Tagora is frozen, the corner of his mouth pulled back to show his teeth. The new guy is ignoring him in favor of noticing that you're dressed in Tagora's monogrammed leisure wear. If his look of fascinated horror is anything to go by, you don't really know what makes you do it. You should wait for Tagora to get himself together and do the talking, but you're riding the high of him almost seeming like he was enjoying your company. Plus, nothing boosts confidence like looking like a beautiful, spooky angel. So you toss your head, put on your best fancy guy voice, and say, "What? Never seen a real one before?" You're placing all your chips on this guy, knowing something you don't, but when his eyes get huge and he starts stumbling over himself to back away down the sidewalk, you know it's paid off. Tagora blinks and jumps right in, picking up directly where you left off. Surely someone as well informed as yourself knows a rainbow drinker when he sees one. The blue guy doesn't respond with anything more coherent than a string of yelps as he hightails it back the way he came. When he's gone, he turns to Tagora and asks him super casually what a rainbow drinker is. He stares at you in stunned silence. Are you telling me you didn't know? You nod. And that you ran with it anyway? Exploiting the fear you picked up on to turn the tide of a delicate encounter in your favor? Yeah, we won. We won this. Okay, we fucking won this now. We fucking won, I'm pretty sure. Like, we won. He's, like, impressed with us. He shrugged. You guess so. You tell Tagora that you hope his friend wasn't too freaked out. Friend? No, I hate that guy. There are simply times when being liked by your betters is helpful. Though, technically, fearing me is just as good. Better, maybe. So you know. Thank you. Tagora's laugh is soft, and it's a sound not sound you expected to hear. He's happy because of something you did. You can't help it. You start laughing, too. That was a bit of a rush, wasn't it? It was almost fun. I certainly didn't see it coming, anyway. I underestimated you. He gives you an appraising look, then takes a deep breath. You're so nervous all of a sudden. You feel unbalanced on the precipice of what he might be about to say. From one provocateur to another. I can't pronounce that. Prevaricator to another. I will let you in on something. I haven't actually encountered an alien before. Oh, he got charged for the truth. Oh, sweet relief. You tell him his act was airtight. As long as everyone's doing the true thing, you bet you lied of it too. You aren't actually rich. Yes, that's clear now. You have the invaluable ability to fake it, though. That's potentially much better. Why don't we put your case on hold for the time being? You wouldn't have enjoyed the outcome of our legal system anyway. We can find an alternate means of you working off your debt. Okay. Okay. I think we may make a better team than I previously anticipated. If our wits combine, we can tackle bigger and better things than traffic injuries. He flexes his hand at his side, and in one swift and decisive movement, he extends it out to you. On his face is something close to an honest-to-God real-life smile. I've never actually formed a legitimate partnership of any sort before, but I believe this is how it's done. What do you say? Friendship discount. 5% friendship discount. Yay! The glow in your heart shines brighter than any expensive and still kind of mysterious lotion. You take his hand in your firm, no-nonsense grasp with pure, inexorable joy and shake it. Yay! Partnership. Completely aced that route. Because I knew what his motivation was. Alright, well, that's where we're going to end it for tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Hope that you can watch our next stream of Hades and more Friendsim on Wednesday. So yeah. This is Teen Demon Kitty out, and everybody have a good night.